Welcome to this edition of Running Back by Committee here on Fantasy Focus, brought to you by the Original Hooters. I'm Derek Tate alongside Matt Bucks and Ryan Levy as we break down the backfield for the Seattle Seahawks heading into the 2020 NFL season. Bit of an interesting one here, boys. This backfield was absolutely decimated by injuries to finish the year. In fact, they had to bring Marshawn Lynch out of retirement to pair up with Travis Homer to head into the 2020 NFL postseason. But let's recalibrate here because we've got Chris Carson coming off of a hip injury. Rashaad Penny, who we don't know exactly what his status is, whether he's going to be ready to go for the start of the 2020 NFL season or not. They went and were in the market for a veteran running back in free agency, which they made an offer to Devonta Freeman. He denied it. They offered the same contract to Carlos Hyde, who is now a part of this backfield heading into the upcoming NFL season. So, Bucky, I'll throw it to you first. Go Hawks. Who's the guy to own here in this backfield? I mean, Chris Carson still finishes a top 15 PPR running back last season.
Yeah, I mean, he ran for over 1,200 yards. He had a good touchdown count. I mean, he was a very productive running back. Chris Carson is still the back to own. The thing that kind of befuddles me would be bringing in Hyde. I understand there's question marks with Penny, but then they drafted DJ Dallas, who officially has the best running back name in the NFL, in the 4th round out of Miami. And I like DJ Dallas, the player. I think he's going to take a little bit to assimilate to that offense, but for the most part, downhill runner, he's got moves. I like what he brings to the table, but what's up with Rashaad Penny? Because I'm drafting Chris Carson. If he's sitting there waiting for me, 2nd round, 3rd round, I'm all over Chris Carson. Volume is the key to this game. I'm going with Chris Carson. But who's the backup there if Penny is active and Penny is running? Is it Penny or is it Carlos Hyde, who had himself a damn fine season considering the situation there in Houston, running for over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns? He didn't do anything wrong there to lose that job in Houston. So I'm very curious as to how this plays out for the backup position. But Chris Carson is just a home run. I love the way he plays, hard-nosed, plays with an edge, chip on his shoulder. I love everything Chris Carson does out there for the Seahawks. So it's Carson for me there.
I love this team in terms of their rushing attack. 4th ranked last year, 138 yards a game nearly. I'm a huge Chris Carson fan because he can handle a full workload, obviously. You guys know I like those type of players. 13 of the 13 games with 15 or more carries. The problem is he's a fumbler.
Yeah.
He fumbled 7 times last year. So realize that when you're drafting him, his current ADP is actually at the end of the 3rd round. So I love that spot for Carson. But I mean, of course the hip injury concerns me. I think that's why they went and drafted DJ Dallas and signed Carlos Hyde, because I don't think Penny is going to play for the first 6 weeks. He's probably going to be on the PUP list to start the season. I believe the Seahawks have a week 6 bye. So hopefully he's healthy by week 7. But I mean, there's got to be a little bit of concern with Chris Carson as well. He had a damn fractured hip. I know he didn't have surgery. I think they just let it heal and did rehab and all that good stuff. But I mean, at the end of the 3rd round, early 4th round, I love Chris Carson because he's going to get a lot of carries. But I like Carlos Hyde too. I think he's going to have standalone value because last year down the stretch before the injuries, Chris Carson and Rashaad Penny both had value. You could have essentially started both of these guys in your fantasy lineups. So I'm still high. I'm still bullish on this backfield.
I just see similar skill sets between Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson. So I expect Carson's definitely the back that I'm drafting first. That's not even a question. Hyde doesn't scare me that much. But I will tell you this. If he loses 3 fumbles in the first 3 games of this upcoming NFL season, if he doesn't clean that up, then I do think Hyde's role continues to grow. And then you throw Rashaad Penny back into the mix at some point this season, or whether it be DJ Dallas or Travis Homer or any other rosterable running back on this team, it just muddies it up just a little bit because I hate the fact that Hyde has a very similar skill set to Carson. They're both downhill physical runners. And if you see Carson struggle to put the ball on the floor early and often, you have a competent veteran that can get you yards after contact and run downhill at a very effective clip in Carlos Hyde, who just can't seem to stay on an NFL team for more than a year.
Don't you guys think that DJ Dallas ends up probably winning a roster spot here? I do think he makes this team because this is the type of team that carries 4 running backs typically, but he's a good pass catcher and he's a good pass blocker from what I've read and seen too. So I could see him having a major role on this team immediately if Rashaad Penny starts the season on the PUP list.
I actually didn't think Travis Homer did all that bad of a job last year.
No, he was good. He was serviceable.
The Odyssey is a great book, great novel. But Homer's time in Seattle is about to come to an end.
Don't. Sorry. You
Special teams.
You went with one Homer reference. I went with another.
Yeah, you went for the low-hanging fruit there, Derek. Not surprising.
But are there any other thought? I mean, what is Carson's ADP right now? Is end of the
311.
What's that? 311?
311.
That's right about where I want Carson. Maybe I would even probably take him mid-third round, given whatever I think he's better in standard formats. So I would actually bump him up a little bit in standard leagues. Not that he's a slouch out of the backfield, but I think what he does best is just beat you up running downhill. So, yeah.
So he's currently at 311. I'm going to go ahead and come original and say I'm going to look for him at the end of the second round. I'm really high on Carson, and the fumbling issues can be cleaned up. Let's just hope they are.
They can be. I hope so too. I mean, he. It's surprising to see that he caught 37 balls last year. Actually,
competent
out of the backfield. Perfect word for it. Competent. I get a little nervous because I just really, really was excited from what I saw from Rashaad Penny in his 10 games that he played last year. I thought he was incredibly efficient. I mean, 5.7 yards a clip. And I believed in this kid coming out of college. I was super, super high on him. But they did bring in some competition for him. And I agree. I don't think he's going to be ready for the start of the season. It's just unfortunate because I really believed and still believe that he's the better player, the more versatile, well-rounded back than Chris Carson. But I don't think we're going to see that come to fruition this year. He's like Penny is a late round PPR stab at best heading into the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's currently being drafted at 1406, and I believe that's going to continue to slide, especially as the rumblings continue of him not playing the first 6 weeks of the season. The line continues to be pretty solid for them. Obviously, they focus on that. I know they drafted Damian Lewis out of LSU in the 3rd round. They added BJ Finney and Mike Iupati.
Yep.
They did lose a couple guys, though. But, I mean...
Iupati?
Iupati.
Iupati?
I actually Googled how to pronounce that for you guys just before we started.
I mean, I think you actually have it a bit wrong. It's just Iupati.
It's Iupati.
According to Wikipedia, it's Iupati.
No, it's just Iupati.
I'm trying, guys.
You really are.
Someday I will get names right.
I have to coach you up. The effort's there. We're just not getting the output that we really are looking for at this juncture. We'll revisit this. You're on a performance improvement plan, effective immediately.
Sign on the dotted line there, pal.
Yeah.
You've been reprimanded. All right, so go ahead and sound off in the comments. Let us know where you would draft Chris Carson, Rashaad Penny, and even Carlos Hyde heading into the 2020 NFL season as we break down every single backfield on this running back by committee series here on Fantasy Focus, brought to you by the Original Hooters. Again, if this is your first time coming across the channel, hit that subscribe button and punch the like button. Until next time, later, says the Tater.
See you later.
See ya.